Okay, I guess we're late. I apologize for going to sleep and watching TV, and I just fell asleep. Okay, call the meeting to order. Let's see, who we got tonight? How about John filling in for Tom Archibald? Okay.
Sounds good.
And are there any changes or changes in the agenda? I think we had one person, one added, right?
Yes, let's see.
I think we
We
have two,
to
right?
add.
Two. Oh,
I believe, Josh, do you have the numbers for those?
He's gonna mention.
Yes, would you like to hear the numbers?
Yes, if you don't mind. I don't have them written down, I apologize.
So for 7.4, we have 2223-17, the application of Bill Liff. And for 7.5, we have 2223-18, the application of Beth Lunt.
was that 22, 23, 18?
22, yes, the second one was 2223-18,
Okay, got it.
and that's the second of two Beth Lunt applications on this agenda. Hold on, I'm just gonna.
Trying to get the volume up. Well, I can't hear anything.
Then did you want to change the order of that other one? Or
I don't
leave
want
it
to
the way it is?
overcomplicate things. I think
Okay.
let's keep the order we have, and then I think we just need a vote to
Yeah.
add those two applications to the
Mhm.
agenda.
Okay, do I hear a motion to add those two?
Motion to add.
I'll
Okay.
second.
All in favor, raise your hand. Okay. Accepted. Okay, any communication or correspondence that we should hear tonight?
Not today.
Okay. Audience of citizens, anyone here wants to speak? Okay, if not, we'll go into our old business, item 6.1. IWWC 2223-04, application of Beth Lunt for repair to twin 36-inch diameter concrete cross pipes, a stone head wall, and wing walls between 36 and 42 Aridoni Road. You want to give us a rundown on that, Isabel?
Yes, so the culverts themselves are in good condition, as we discussed at the site walk that we had in late October. The area around the culverts, however, has had continual issues. There are a couple large potholes in the center of the road there that Public Works has been continually filling in with more and more material, which then keeps getting washed out into the lake. So there's a large void space, which at this point is a concern, a safety concern. And so the town would like to close down that section of road, excavate around the two culvert pipes, add additional material described as flowable fill, and then fix up the rest of the road. And I think they're also doing some repointing on the wing walls a little bit, but mostly they're in good condition. And the estimate was that it should take, I believe, a couple of weeks.
Great. Okay. Anybody have any questions on it? If not, do I hear a summary ruling on it? Isabel?
Yes, let me pull it up. I'll share my screen here so everyone can see it. Once that pulls up. All right, so I think everyone can see my screen right now.
All right. Very
So
nice.
this is for IWWC 2223-04, the application of Beth Lunt, acting as agent for the town of Columbia at the culverts between 36 and 42 Erdoney Road to, oop, I have a typo here. That's from an old one, sorry. Repair the culverts at Erdoney Road. Inland Wetlands agent is to be notified 48 hours before the commencement of any part of the activity. Approved. I'm going to skip over the standard conditions here. All work shall be completed during the lake drawdown between October 15th and March 15th in an even numbered year, or November 15th and March 15th in an odd numbered year. And the applicant Beth Lunt is assigned the responsibility for implementing the sediment and erosion control plan. The responsibility includes installation and maintenance of control measures, informing all parties engaged on the construction site of requirements and objectives of the plan, notifying the Inland Wetland Commission office of any transfer of responsibility, and conveying a copy of the sediment and erosion control plan if the title to the land is transferred. And this permit is valid for 2 years currently, so it would be valid through November 2024. That can be adjusted up to 5 years.
Okay,
We discussed other things at the site that I could add if anyone has concerns, particularly about sediment and erosion control. There is a standard condition that things can be added as needed, and I'll certainly be keeping a close eye on this. We discussed potentially using a floating boom to capture any silt in the area if necessary, if there was a flow, but right now I'm anticipating that the lake will be drawn down enough when they're doing this work that that won't be an issue.
It is already, Isabel,
Okay,
significantly. Yeah, there won't be any issues there.
right. And I think at that point that would be necessary. I would rather them just not do the work and hold off. So I didn't add that as a condition, but I could put it in as something to bolster the conditions if that's something that you'd be more comfortable with.
My sense is they're going to do this in the next few weeks. They want to do it sooner than later, pending our approval.
Beth did mention that they were hoping to get it done sooner so that they could get the asphalt that they want to use for the site varies. So if they wait until later in the winter, they need a different mixture for the cold weather.
okay. Okay, do we have a motion to, for the summary ruling just read?
I'll move it.
Okay, second on it?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor? All right, raise your hand.
Aye.
So moved.
And just for the record, who was it that made that motion?
Ron.
Ron. Okay.
Ron
Thank you.
Dilworth.
Yeah, I second it.
Okay.
Okay. Next item is item 6.2, IWWC 2223-09, the application of Brian Bondades for construction of docks on Columbia Lake at 134 Route 87. And I think we had a site walk there too, if I remember correctly. Yep.
Yes. So this application was initially received in September and was continued just to make sure that everything was in place. It's since been approved by LMAC. So they have made some changes in the meantime to limit the number and size of the docks, but they're fairly minor. I think most of the changes really pertain to LMAC regulations rather than wetlands regulations. There may be a couple less footings necessary within the lake bed under the new configuration. But for the most part, it's fairly straightforward. They're reconstructing, I believe, 4 docks. Mary, you can correct me if I'm wrong.
Technically speaking, they had 4 docks.
Okay,
Based on LMAC guidelines, they are reducing that to 2 docks and a boathouse. And
Okay.
they had 4 docks plus a boathouse. They're reducing it to 2 docks plus a boathouse.
okay, so just the 3 structures now.
Correct.
We had the site walk in October with Brian, who may have just joined the meeting, I believe, the applicant and his contractor, Clark Robinson. And the plan is mainly to just use handwork to rebuild the footings for the new docks in the same fashion that they're in now.
I did
Okay,
just join. I'm sorry I was late. I wanted to
Hey,
join
Ryan.
when I could. Hey there.
No problem. Thanks for joining us.
okay, do we have a motion, a summary ruling on that?
Yes, we do. I
Okay.
will share again.
Okay.
And this is for application 2223-09. The application of Brian Bonadies at 134 Route 87 for the reconstruction of docks on Columbia Lake. Again, the Inland Wetland Commission agent is to be notified 48 hours before the commencement of any part of the activity approved above. The duration of the permit is for 2 years unless extended by this agency and shall expire upon completion. No heavy machinery shall be used on the lake bed. All work shall be completed during lake drawdown between October 15 and March 15 and an even numbered year, or November 15 and March 15 in an odd number year. And Brian Bonadies, as the applicant, is assigned the responsibility for implementing the sediment and erosion control plan. Responsibility includes the installation and maintenance of control measures, informing all parties engaged on the construction site of requirements and objectives of the plan, notifying the Wetlands Commission office of any transfer of responsibility, and conveying a copy of the erosion and sediment control plan if the title to the land is transferred.
Okay. Does someone want to make a motion to accept the summary ruling that Isabel just read?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, thank you, John.
I'll second it.
Very good. Thank you, Ron. All in favor, raise your hand.
Aye.
So moved. Thank you.
Hey, John.
Yes.
Just a quick side note on this, and Brian, just to alert you, LMAC as an advisory commission sends letters to the Board of Selectmen on November 15th next week. They have a letter advising approval of this per LMAC with a slight modification in the length of the dock. So Brian, I'll send you a copy of that letter. So you have it, and it should be blessed and approved by, what's that, next Tuesday.
Very good. Thank you.
Okay. Sounds good. Thanks.
Okay, I think that was the last thing under old business, so let's go on to new business. Item 7.1, IWWC 222315. The application of James Doran to repair and attach spalling and comprised retaining wall or seawall at 7 Lower Woodland Terrace.
So this is a fairly recent application. It hasn't gone to LMAC yet. I don't
Actually, it
know.
has.
Oh, it has. Oh, good. Okay.
we
I didn't
have
think
both.
it got into that meeting.
Yep.
So it just came in last week. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the Lower Woodland Terrace properties, but this one in particular used to be number 5 and now it's number 7. So it's a little bit confusing, but it's the one with the very steep driveway in the front and a walkout basement behind. The lake wall itself and the dock are both made of concrete form, which has been eroded away underneath. Very similar to the town pier, which we
Hmm.
had repaired by the town last year. So the applicants would like to go in and just repair below the pier or below the dock and below the lake wall where the erosion has been occurring. Right now, they don't have a contractor. They're not sure if they were planning to do the work themselves, or at least that was my most recent discussion with them.
Correct.
So I think that they're still working that out. But that's most of it. I'm not sure what they'll end up doing with that. But I think it will be very similar to the work that was done at the pier.
FYI, LMAC reviewed it at our last meeting. And actually, we did an administrative approval after a site visit, but we just wanted to alert all of LMAC. We feel it's not a minor repair, but it is in the scope of things, a minor repair.
The whole wall is staying intact. It's really just the
Correct. It's the under the foundation.
Mhm.
And we took and showed pictures to LMAX, so everyone saw exactly what was happening. It's undermining because it's going under that lowest step, and it's undermining the entire step area. So
Wow.
they just want to repoint and put concrete there.
Okay. So.
Do we need to do a site visit, Isabel, or is this an administrative approval?
Yeah, I
So
think
because
that,
it's in the lake itself, it would need, it doesn't need a site visit if the
Okay.
commission was comfortable, but that would be up to your discretion. It does need commission approval though.
Okay.
okay, I think we ought to make it an administration approval for Isabel. So do I have a motion to make it a administrative approval?
Motion,
Okay, second.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor? Raise your
Aye.
hand. So moved. Thank you. Very good.
So I'll,
Okay.
because it does need formal approval overall by the commission, I'll work with them to come up with a plan, and then I'll report back for what they're doing at the next meeting.
Isabel, I'll send you the pictures that LMAC took.
Okay.
So at least you have them if you want to do a quick site visit.
I did go out to the site. I met Thao, I believe is her name,
Yeah,
at the site, and we walked the wall and walked the dock. And I agree, it's a fairly straightforward repair.
nice when we agree.
Yeah, it makes it easier.
Good, thank you.
Okay, item 7.2, IWWC 2223-16, application of James Blair to rebuild an existing lake wall and dock at 9 Sleepy Hollow Road. Want to give us an update on that, Isabel?
Yes, so this is a new application that I think will need a site walk. I did meet Jim out at the site. It was actually a couple months ago when he was first taking the project on. So having a hard time remembering off the top of my head the specifics. I didn't have any major concerns. It was a fairly straightforward lake wall. But I think it would be beneficial for the commission to see it in person, because he'll be, from my memory, taking it down and rebuilding it and doing his standard lake wall repair.
Okay, we'll set a site walk time and date after we finish the rest of the items here.
Okay.
LMAC will
need-
be doing similar. We're going to do a site visit also. And we
I
just
think
got the application. We haven't it's just been accepted. We have not done anything.
Speaking of accept, do we need to vote to do that too?
Yes.
Yeah, to receive
Vote to accept.
the application.
Do we need a motion on that, Joshua?
Yes,
Oh, okay,
yeah, we do.
all right, yeah,
Motion,
I'll
To
make the
accept.
motion.
all
you,
right,
Ted.
second.
second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, okay, so
Aye.
moved. Okay,
Yes.
Thank you, Joshua.
All right, item 7.3, IWWC 222314. Application of Kurt Lessinger to construct a driveway immediately south of 13 Wellswood Road. Do we have a motion to accept that application?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, second,
Accept.
all in favor, raise your hand. Okay, thank you. You want to give us an update on that, Isabel?
Yes, so this is an old previously approved subdivision. Jim Luxek is here to discuss it with you. The application is being carried out by Mark Reynolds. It's for a driveway that does run through wetlands, but it's a shared driveway for, is it 2 properties, Jim?
Yes, that's correct. We could look at the map if the commission wants to. Really what it is, it's 3 parcels now that existed in a subdivision from 1973. And what the applicant would like to do is build only one driveway to serve those. Basically, it's going to combine the 3 lots into 2. And that way, needs one driveway, and it'd be much less of an impact just building the one driveway where it's shown on these plans versus 2 separate driveways to serve the existing lots.
Okay. I think we need a site walk on this application also.
Isabella, do you want to show us the map real quick or share a screen? I can show it.
Yes,
Sure.
would you please? I
Yes.
think that'll
I'll
be
share
good.
my screen.
Okay.
I have it up already.
Thank you.
And everyone can see this?
Yep.
I don't know why it's showing 2 pages at once. Let's see. There we go.
Perfect.
And so this is the area of wetlands here that will be crossed. And like Jim said, it'll be serving 2 properties. I believe it's about 100 feet, a little bit less. Is that right?
Yep. Just, a little less than that. And it's at the narrowest part of the wetlands area across those 3 lots. That's why we picked that, the least impact. And, again, these lots are lots of record. Instead of coming in for two driveways to serve these lots, what he wants to do is put just one driveway in. And if we get that approved, which I believe we will, then he'll go forward with a lot line revision or re-subdivision, whatever we need to move the lines around.
Okay. Anybody have any questions on that? Oh, okay. So we'll set this up for a site walk at the end of the meeting.
Okay, great.
Very good. Okay,
I'll
item
I'll be your tour guide.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, item 7.4, 2223-17. I'm not sure what that, can you?
It's the
give us a summary
application
what
of
that-
Bill Leff to
Okay.
rebuild 98 feet of stone wall at 50 Erdoney Road.
50 Erdoney, okay. Do I have a motion to accept that application?
Motion to accept.
Second,
I'll second.
John, thank you. Okay, all in favor, raise your hand. So moved. Okay, Isabel, you want to bring this up
Yes.
to summarize this? What's going
So
on
I
here?
think most of the commission is familiar with this property. We looked at it last year for the extension. Originally, they were approved for a very small portion of the wall
That's
and extended it to 53 feet on one side of the dock. Now they're going to do the other side of the dock, which is 93 feet. The wall is in very similar condition to what we saw last year. It's just not stable. It's being eroded away. And so the same process as last year, the same conditions. They're planning on just rebuilding it to stop that erosion of the property. The site itself is fairly manageable. There's not much slope to be concerned about. So it should be fairly straightforward. I think it would be reasonable to do a site walk, but that'll be, again, up to the commission members if you'd like to see it again. I think we've looked at it last year and the year before.
Correct. LMAC has accepted the application and will do a site visit.
Okay, so if we've seen it before, I'm not sure we need to see it again, but if anybody would like to do that, they could probably do it on their own. Okay. So we will not add that to our site walk. Okay, items, let's see, 7.5 are we on? 2223-18.
Yes.
Is the application of Beth Lunt from the town of Columbia for the
Okay.
installation of a silt fence at Town Beach at
Oh, right.
2 Beach Road.
Okay. So does somebody want to make a motion to accept that application?
I'll make that motion.
Okay.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor, raise your hand. So moved. I don't think we need to make a site walk down there. Looks like a pretty straightforward thing.
Yeah, there's a map included. This is essentially something the town would like to do to try to contain the
The
sand
from
within the
below.
town beach area. I had to bring it to the commission because it is within the wetland itself.
Mhm.
So it's under your jurisdiction. I can't do it administratively, but it's just standard sediment and erosion control.
Right.
If I may, Isabel, and to the committee members, I received an email this evening, and the person who brought this to our attention lives next to the beach. If you're facing the town beach, to the right is Denise Egan. The next house over is Richard Niles. Denise Egan, at a Board of Selectmen meeting, brought this to our attention, where they're planning to put the silt fence to prevent erosion is not, in Denise's opinion, and probably LMAC's, because LMAC reviewed this a year ago, informally, is not where the sand is going to, it's not going to stop the erosion and the placement of the sand onto the beach properties or lake bed properties of the Egans and the Niles. It has gotten to a point where the Niles have lost 2 steps because there's into the lake, 2 concrete steps into the lake because of the amount of erosion that's coming from the beach. So there seems to be some concern, and Isabel, I can do this offline with you. Denise would like to speak with you, Beth, or someone to explain where the sand is coming from and why they feel the silt fence in front of the beach area is not going to do it. They'd prefer it be in the lake bed area going into their cove. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I would be willing to meet you and Denise and Beth on site to kind of adjust the location.
Okay.
This is something, again, the commission, technically it's under the commission's jurisdiction. It actually, as I was explaining it, occurred to me that this probably could be a jurisdictional ruling, just as a matter of minor work to for the control of sediment and erosion. But I don't have a jurisdictional ruling prepared because I apologize. It didn't occur to me at the time when I received the application and was discussing it with Beth. But it's fairly minor work itself. They're certainly not going to take a big machine and trench the lake.
Yeah. I
So-
concur, it's minor. I think it's where we put it that
Yes.
prevents that erosion is the question being asked by Denise.
And I think you,
I have one comment.
go ahead, Joe.
On the plan view, therefore we should show about where the fence is to be located when it's finally decided where it should be. And then there should be a plus or minus on the length of each length of the fence.
Mhm.
So it's pinned down.
Okay. So I think Mary, along with Isabel, can make that
Yeah.
decision. Okay, very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So we're all through with the new business. Do we have an approval, motion to approve the meeting minutes of October 3rd, 2022? Everybody get a chance to read them? It looked pretty good to me.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, second,
Second,
Mary, thank you. All in favor, raise your hand.
Aye.
Okay, so moved. And finally, the site walk minutes of October 8th, 2022. Someone want to make a motion to approve those?
I'll make a motion again.
Thank you, John.
I'll second it.
Ron, okay, thank you. All in favor, raise your hand.
Aye.
So moved, okay.
I'm going to abstain because I didn't make the entire site visit.
Hmm, all right, very good. Audience of citizens, we don't have any, or do we have any? No, anybody here want to say anything? I guess not. Okay, so any open discussion? Anybody would have anything they want to discuss? Okay. How about the administrative reports, Isabel? You have some of those?
I do. So I issued 2 administrative approvals. One at 10 Yeoman's Road for a septic system installed by Chris Morrell. Yeoman's Road, if you're familiar with the subdivision, does have a lot of wetlands in the area. The yard itself essentially is fill from when the subdivision was created. The system that they ended up developing for this site is as low impact as possible. Unfortunately, this is something that was fairly urgent as the septic system was failing, and I think the property just recently sold. So they're installing a pump system with pretty substantial silt fence around the excavation to protect the wetlands. And I've since been out to the site and the silt fence was installed well. And so far everything looks well protected and well managed. I also issued an administrative approval for Chris Bush at 22B Lake Road. Again, for a septic system. This is something I think many of you will be familiar with. We were at the property last year for a lake wall repair. The septic system is in the front of the house, roughly over 100 feet from the lake. And again, blocked by the house. So they put up some substantial silt fence to protect the area. And it's really the only location they could find for this septic system, this property. It was a little bit tight with setbacks and the lake itself. I also issued a notice of violation to Peter Marcoux at Hunt Road, map 35, lot 75. There was an old application for a driveway and a house at that site. It's the headwaters essentially of Mint Brook. And at this time, a significant amount of material has been brought into the site without any permit being granted. So I did issue a notice of violation. Peter isn't here tonight, but it was sent out very recently, so I don't think he's had time to receive the letter, read it, and attend this meeting. Hopefully the next meeting will have something.
Isabel, this is Jim Luzak. I'm able to answer some questions on that. I was able to read that letter as well as
good.
kind get caught up a little bit on what was transpired in the past. So if you want, if the commission, wills to talk about it now, I'm able to do that.
Do you have anything you'd like to add or?
Yeah,
or discuss
yeah,
at this point?
I wasn't sure they're willing to hear it
Oh,
now
yeah.
or how they want to proceed with that. Okay. I didn't want to overstep. So from my understand, there was an application in the works there. I believe John Valenti was involved with it when it started. That was in December of 21, so it's a little less than a year ago, almost coming on a year now. But the only outstanding part of that application was a request for some details on a dewatering plan. Is that correct?
Yes,
Okay, and from what I gather, you never, or the town never received those details. And that's the only outstanding part of that application.
yes.
So, I mean,
At this stage, I am more of the opinion that this is something that should be brought to the commission. And I did mention that in the letter as well. This is something that was started when John was the wetlands agent. And as I was in the process of taking it over from him, upon doing a pre-review of the site, he felt it was appropriate for an administrative approval. And again, as I was onboarding, I went through that process with him. I did agree at the time. Having reviewed it since, I do feel that that dewatering plan is necessary. And I do feel that it's something that the commission should review at this point because of that, because of the sensitivity of the area and because there are a couple of locations that were not flagged as wetlands, that headwaters of Mint Brook is not a wetland. You're not in a water course or anything like that. But because of the sensitivity of the area and because of the other location where a culvert is necessary, could be considered an intermittent water course, I feel that it's more appropriate for the commission to have a site plan review. So at this stage, I'm not sure where Peter stands on that or.
I guess when I read the letter earlier today, I didn't read it as a notice of violation. I just said the word violation, or does that even appear in the letter? I think I have it here. Just give me a second.
Sure.
Okay,
And I guess the only point I wanted to then add to that is that, this was kind of confusing, I guess, with the handoff. But what I see when I look at this plan, we're talking about a maximum about 1.5 foot of fill, maybe 2 feet of fill from original grade to put the driveway in. It's really just kind of scratching out the organics and then adding the road base for the driveway. And the culverts themselves are about 3 feet from existing grade, actually from finished grade, which is probably going in about 2 feet. So as much as dewatering, I guess the plan would be simply don't do it when it's wet, which would be right about now would be the greatest time to get those in. There probably wouldn't be any concerns with groundwater at all at that point. It would be very, very minimal disturbance. And it, if I may be so bold to ask, if we could do it administratively, work with you directly to make sure that everything's protected and that nothing's done in standing or flowing water.
I think I mentioned in the letter that I'd like the commission to review the site plan at this stage, just because of the back and forth that I've had because of how long it's been sitting. And because at this stage, I do feel like it's more complicated than I originally realized. I don't want to extend the process, certainly for Peter or for your firm any more than it currently has been extended, but I want to make sure that the commission views the site plan and is fully aware of what is happening at that site, just in the event that there are further issues. I don't anticipate further issues. But I feel at this stage that it's more appropriate.
Okay.
okay.
Good.
Okay, so Do you
So
think we should add that add that to our sidewalk agenda?
It is a very difficult site to traverse. It's something that the commission could do a site walk if you'd like to, or I could just bring the site plan to the commission for review at our next meeting, just to ensure that everything's,
I mean, I have it available now. If you want to share a screen, they want to take a look at it now, we could peek at it.
okay. I
Yeah.
would be comfortable with that if everyone has time to review it. Again, it's something that it's up to your discretion if you'd like to sit on it for a month to review it in more detail. That would be reasonable, I think. But at this stage, I'd just at least like the commission to see it and have an opportunity to comment. Was really, I think, my concern upon later review.
Okay, why don't you show it to us now and we'll see what
Okay.
we think.
All right. Isabel, if I hit share screen, will it work?
It should.
Okay, let's see. Got a lot of screens. That's okay. Probably have to. Let's go with this. Let's see if this works. Usually I have multiple screens and then, how's that? You guys seeing a letter?
Yes.
Okay, that was your letter. I just unpermitted filling next to wetlands. As you said, yep, you wanted to discuss it tonight.
Mhm.
Let me find this over here. Okay. So this is the overall picture of the property. This is the center line of Mint Brook. This is the flagged wetlands, and then the 100-foot review area does cut across this corner, I believe, is the area that was of your concern there. Is that right, Isabel?
Yes. So was that first culvert pipe that's within the 100-foot review area, and then the additional culvert. Let me see.
Yeah, it's up here a little further, right in
Yes.
here. Okay.
And so that I would say is really an intermittent water course at this stage. I think it may be my interpretation, and I had John back out to the site to confer. My interpretation is that this was an old stream bed that was essentially diverted through other development, mainly these 3 or 4 properties above it, changed the grade. And now I believe it's a footing drain or something that outlets into that area. So it's not necessarily that it's significant, but it does have, from my memory, a defined bank and some detritus. So I do think it qualifies as an intermittent stream.
And I believe that's why the pipe was proposed there to catch that and keep it going in its path that it was now, instead of having it run along the road, the driveway,
Yes.
and then cross here. I think on the second sheet here, we got a little more blown up view, if you will, of that area, of that corner. And I don't know what you folks are seeing. Is the scale wrong? Can I zoom in for you? Does that help?
Yeah, I think we can see that.
Okay, good. I'm working off a little surface here, so everything's kind of tiny. Okay, so this is that corner, and this actually shows both of those crossings. What I just want to point out, overall, the existing grades here, we're talking about 66 is here. This existing grade of 66. Finished grade going through here is 69. This is probably the deepest of the fill. The pipe is at 66, which is existing grade. So really, we just digging out a little bit of organic, putting in the pipe, and then filling it over with a couple feet of the road base. Overall, like here, original grade 72, finished grade 72. We're not talking about a huge cut and fill. This is following the existing grade pretty closely, as you can see the contours there. Here you have a little bit more fill here, but overall, we're really just following the existing grade.
Yeah, I think that was really just the main area of concern, was that outstanding dewatering plan. we've had a lot of back and forth between myself and the property owner and Mark Reynolds, going over both the culvert installation and then the septic system installation as well, because that's within the extended 200-foot upland review area due to the significant slope.
Right, up here.
So the slope here is greater than 20%. And so the upland review area extends to 200 feet. And you can see they've placed very extensive silt fence in the area and additionally a berm to be adjusted in the field and to protect the septic system from being overrun by water coming from the building site itself, particularly during construction, and just to manage sediment and erosion control. So there's been a lot of back and forth, especially with John included, giving input, but I wanted to make sure that the commission did have an opportunity to review and comment.
Okay. Is there anything on this plan that the commission like me to focus on?
Well, I have a question. You're representing Peter on this issue,
Correct.
and what firm are you with?
I'm with Reynolds Engineering Services.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Okay, any other questions? If not, I think we can let Isabel work with him and work it out.
Okay.
So I'm gonna stop my share. I hope I can do that.
Okay,
There we go. There, stop sharing.
Okay. So Jim, I'm happy to work it out with you and complete that administrative approval just as soon as I see some basic dewatering for those two areas.
Absolutely. We'll put together something for you. And really, it may be as very simple as not planning on dewatering unless we have water. And if we do, it'll be just a diversion and then pump that upland, not downstream, obviously, to some protected area. But we'll put that in writing, put that on the plan and get it to you as soon as possible.
That sounds good. Thank you very much for joining us and representing this.
No
and
problem.
getting this sorted out.
Yeah, we'll get through this and we'll make it right and make sure everything's done right.
okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Mhm. Okay, last item, adjournment. Anybody want to make a motion to adjourn?
How about
Do
some
we still
dates?
have side?
Oh,
do
we
we
gotta
still
have
have
a
sidewalks?
sidewalk first.
Yeah,
I was gonna
I've
say,
been waiting
we
for some
need a few-
dates.
Need a few dates.
Okay. I won't be able to make it on the 19th. No, we have our Holly the Harvest over at the senior center, which I'll be helping with all morning and afternoon on the 19th. But the 12th would be free and the 26th is right on Thanksgiving, so
Yeah, right.
26 is out.
25th and 26th, yeah. So that's out. So the 12th looks like the only available date for me, but how about- it's the
I
only
don't know
time I-
if this is too much of a deterrent or how accurate my app is here, but it looks like we're gonna have 90% chance of rain on the 12th.
Oh, that's right.
I don't know. how
Lovely.
either.
Okay, how about a Sunday? Everybody go to church on Sunday? Or another day during the night, maybe during the evening before.
It's,
How many site visits do we have?
I think we
that
got
day?
4, but
Four?
I'm not sure. Yeah.
We
So
have,
it's-
oh, sorry, Josh.
I was thinking it was just 2, but I could be missing one. So 6.1, we went ahead and approved, right? Or made an
Right.
administrative
Yes,
approval?
so it would be
So-
7.1 for 7 lower woodland.
Oh, wait.
clearance.
I meant 7.1. Did,
That one, we just went ahead and
7.2.
the
approved,
commission's,
right?
I was comfortable without a site walk.
right, so
So I'll report back.
7.2 is a sidewalk?
Yes, yep.
7.3 is a sidewalk.
Yep.
So
That's
that's two so
And then
far.
that was it. You're right, because we're
7
not
point-
doing a site walk for the Bill Life application.
Right.
So just those two.
So it's Sleepy Hollow Road and Wellswood Road.
Okay.
So the 12th is out because
Uh,
of weather.
yeah,
That's
the
all I
weather,
can do is
so-
the 12th.
Hmm,
We sometimes do them on Thursday evenings, don't we?
yes.
I can't do Thursdays. I'm back working in the evening.
How about a
Uh,
Monday?
But you don't need me if we get a quorum.
What about a Monday,
Possible.
on the 14th or 21st might be okay.
21st would be better for me.
Okay,
I think I can make the 21st work.
great. Okay, so Monday, the 21st.
Everybody else?
Can everybody make that? Okay, very good. 21st,
What,
And-
what time?
uh,
9 o'clock.
5
Oh,
o'clock?
4 o'clock.
It's dark. It's gonna get dark early now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
how about 4 o'clock?
that would be the latest, probably.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
think
I can make it
sunset right
anytime.
now is about 4:30, so we
Yeah.
have half an hour for the two sites.
Oh, no, we better make it 3 o'clock. And anybody,
3:30.
everybody make it at 3?
3:30, right?
3:30.
3:30? Okay.
3:30.
3:30. Monday, the 21st at 3:30.
Perfect.
All right, good. Okay, now we could have a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Okay,
No move, seconded.
Second.
very good. All in
Thank
favor?
y'all.
Aye. Have a good
Aye.
week.
Hasta la vista.
everybody.
Okay,
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Isabel.
Take care, Isabel.
good night.
Thank you,
Good night,
Joshua.